Yeah. So Gabe,
Yeah.
if you're watching this, your hat might be at open window. So talk to Tara or just DM us on
This is
Instagram.
a PSA to all Gabes out there, specifically the one that was here.
Yes.
Um,
The last Gabe.
if you have a hat, if you were wearing a hat
Mhm.
in this studio, it is still here.
And technically, if you've ever been to Outside Lands, or if you know what Outside Lands is, it might be your hat as well.
If you know what Outside Lands is, it is your hat.
That's right. That's right. Those two things. Today on the show, we will be sharing more about Canna Connect and discussing 3 perspectives on how the industry sees the cannabis debate that, if you're watching this, you're probably aware of, between marijuana and hemp, specifically low dose versus dispensary weed, etc. There's 3 perspectives. We crowdsourced them kind of from our audience
Yeah.
between Instagram and here you see us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Hello to our Facebook audience.
Space.
Hello to our LinkedIn audience.
Yeah.
Hello to our YouTube audience. Subscribe on all 3 platforms.
Yeah, press the subscribe. Isn't this where the YouTubers go?
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Click the button.
Shout out to Open Window Productions.
Yeah.
We're live.
Cheers to Henry and the crew here at Open Window Productions.
Cocoa Flow, Back Channel Brewing, good brand, good brewery.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. All right. So let's get into this debate.
I'm excited.
There's 3 perspectives we want to share.
Yes.
The first one is, well, we'll go one by one.
We'll start at the top.
We had a commenter on Instagram say, responding to a Star Tribune article that was about the sudden change in the policy around hemp.
Yeah.
Industrial hemp or just hemp?
Oh. Guess I turned the volcano on. Yeah, industrial hemp / farm bill / beverages like this.
Beverages like this.
Yeah. Low dose hemp edibles.
Yeah, edibles are considered beverages in this category.
Yes.
Or beverages are considered edibles.
Yeah.
A rectangle is not a square.
Truth.
And the question is, actually, the comment was, bye low dose trash.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I love the crowdsourced commentary here in this case because there's a way to, there's a story, right? There's a way to spin all of this. And that's exactly what happens here with a comment like that. Bye low dose trash.
Low dose trash means, in their eyes, they're saying this is not exactly the plant. This is, I don't think the commenter is actually upset about the dose.
No. I think the commenter is alluding to, and maybe you have a different perspective, but alluding to the battle that is cannabis as our umbrella, and then hemp, marijuana.
And this person is on the marijuana side, more of a purist, I believe, a grower of cannabis.
Yeah.
High.
Were you about to say high dose?
Well,
high dose cannabis.
The nice thing with marijuana is you can grow a ton of different types of cultivars.
Yes.
And some you grow, well, it's legal to grow marijuana in Minnesota.
It is.
You can grow a variety of types of cultivars or strains, and they all have different levels of THC as well as terpenes, flavonoids.
Yeah.
All sorts of molecular makeup that will affect what that high or what that flower comes out as.
Right. And in this case, getting back to the commentary, thinking like that human is on the side, if we're choosing sides of a coin here, the hemp side, flip it, marijuana side, they are marijuana side up saying bye low dose trash because this low dose trash, in this case, as our example, Cocoa Flow, it's 8 milligrams of THC. This is low dose trash. Get it out of here. Finally, we have the answer. The feds are taking it down, right?
But how did you make it? Well, good question. And that's part of the problem. Versus what this grower or this commenter is referring to is like, I grow my own marijuana. I know where it comes from.
Yes.
I can consume it as medicine or as recreational, and
Mhm.
I can feel good that I kept it as plant material.
Yes.
Or they could further refine it and do all those things.
Of course, but they're coming to the table, and rightfully so. We're not judging, we're not assuming, we're just reading a comment and we're having a conversation around our perspectives from the vantage point we come from.
Mm-hmm.
So again, to flip that proverbial marijuana versus hemp coin,
Sure.
and we're talking about a grower here, what's interesting, now that you're bringing that more to light, is that, like, well, you know me,
Yeah.
I also grow cannabis marijuana cultivars. I am a 100% outdoor, sun-grown, northern Minnesota grower.
Uh-huh.
And even that, right? I could be a real purist, right? Marijuana is grown outside under the sun because it's a plant, you know? And then you flip the coin, and the other side is like, indoor is best. Bye-bye outdoor trash with your bugs and your mold and your, uncontrolled situation.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but they're also just plants, man. And they're best grown with the natural sunlight outside. Not saying, again, I've never grown cannabis indoors.
Sure.
I've never grown high-dose marijuana
HDM
inside.
Yeah.
And like our buddy Luke McCapes, he's a both. He grows indoor and he has some plants outdoor.
Yeah.
Right?
He's not heads or tails.
His coin is spinning and he's waiting for it to land, and it's never going to land because it's perpetually in motion.
Right. And the hobby and absolutely, I believe that Minnesota, I believe that all states should have the ability to grow cannabis.
Yeah.
Within some reason, I guess, because you have to put a cap on it. The states aren't going to say, "Oh, you can just grow as much cannabis as you want." That's not the world we live in.
It's not the world we live in. I'll trip that trigger for you and say that I honestly feel like, oh gosh, there's so many parameters around it. But where I was going to go with it, I'll just say it, and then we'll dissect it.
Okay.
Is they're plants.
Right.
And I feel there's a limit. There were rules? There's always fucking rules, right? In this world we live, this silly planet we live on.
There's rules we can see and rules we can't see.
There is so much more that we as humans can't see because of the frequency of vibrational energy that we can't resonate with, especially through our eyeballs. Yeah. We only see certain fractions of light. There's so much more we don't see than we do see. Now that's getting a little esoteric, friends, but we'll bring it back down to what I was about to go into, which is plants. I personally, as a grower of plants, a lover of plants, Henry, we got to get some fucking real plants in here, dude. These are fake as balls. I'll bring some next time. Don't worry.
That'd be cool.
I have a fiddle fig at home.
Really?
That was in the cabin. Dark Star Cabins. That's another segment. Brought to you by. I have fiddle fig, and it wasn't doing well. It wasn't doing well in the cabin.
Okay.
Because I don't have enough guest bookings right now at the Airbnb. Yeah. Off-grid cabin. And plants, this is all going to circle right back in to bye-bye Lodo's trash, by the way. There's not enough guests. And I go there about once a week just to check on things. Water the plants.
Sure.
And there's not enough guests coming in right now because it's a new venture of mine. And the plants are getting sad.
Really?
Yeah. Like all the plants in my house and like the cannabis cultivars that I grow, the marijuana cultivars that I grow outside.
Yeah.
When I grow those, and the growing season's done now. Here we are in the late year. It's November. We're having a conversation. The growing season outdoors is complete. Right. But to liken that back to indoor plants, they need love. Plants need love. Huh. Plants need our energy. There's been studies done, and I don't have anything to quote the facts and figures on it, but there's been studies done where like plants, like other all living things, can feel your energy. Like you are their caretaker, right? Yeah. So like in this case, at my house, I have lots of plants, and I caretake them. I buy them. I talk to them. They're just naturally there. They're absorbing my energy. They're absorbing my CO2 that I am exhaling. Yeah. Well, at the cabin, I'm not there enough. And
Right.
there's not enough guests and not enough changeover right now going on
Yeah.
to warrant it. So I had to bring the plants back to the house.
Well, that's nice.
It's a good thing, right? But anyways, back to the outdoor, cannabis cultivation. For me, I like to grow plants, and we're talking about rules and limits and numbers. And what is it? State of Minnesota home growers can grow 4. You can have 8.
Yeah.
You can have, which is so interesting because outdoor, the rule doesn't work. You can have 8 plants, only 4 in flower phase at a time. So if you're using the sunlight, you can't grow 8 plants and go, hey, you 4, hold on a minute while these 4 flower and come to term in late September, early October, and then you guys can go ahead and go and make your flower.
Yeah.
Now, if you're an indoor grower, it's a different story.
Right.
You can have your tents or your grow op, your setup, and you can
Light control.
Yes, you can go, hey, you guys, it's time to flower. If you're doing auto flower or whatever, or maybe you're doing photo period, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you can say, hey, you 4, time to flower, and then I can start 4 more and know that there's a secular, happening.
Yeah.
But outdoors, as an outdoor grower,
it's on or off.
It's on or off. So I can only legally grow 4, right?
Right, and that's what you did this year.
That's what I did. I grew 4 plants outside.
Nice. That's good.
But to that point, we're talking about rules. I think I like there's a whole other side of this, especially on the recreational, the like business aspect. I don't grow plants for business. I don't have a license to grow. I'm just a home grower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing it for fun to grow plants because I'm interested in cannabis plants. And they...
So is this guy.
This,
who's up in your area. I believe he hails from the Duluth area.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you also have a perspective on this.
That's great full circle concept is, yes, we're talking about this because I am an outdoor marijuana cultivar grower, but at the same time, I have a huge passion alongside of you inside of this game of life that is low dose trash. I have a affinity for beverages because of my almost 20 years in the craft beer and beverage industry.
Yes.
Which also then in the last 3 to 4 years has tied really well into the cannabis beverage, i.e. low dose hemp derived beverage industry.
Yeah.
And my coin's spinning.
Mm-hmm.
My coin spins like a top.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see it from all vantage points.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I see the words and the concepts of what it is and how it is and why it should be and why it shouldn't be.
I really take a perspective on the shout out to Open Window Productions. Low dose trash is an on-ramp into the cannabis industry, whether you're a consumer or a brand. And that's been the case for the last 3 years in Minnesota. And we've gone about it in a way, in my opinion, where we've really done a good job as a state, as an industry. Compliments to the government for also getting this right, our legislature, on removing some of the low-dose trash from the consumer and from the brands and their ability to produce these products. And what I mean by low-dose trash is THCA flower, one, which is not even low dose.
Right.
So I guess I'll leave THCA flower alone. But THCA flower, we can talk about that in the marijuana versus hemp loophole, the third perspective.
Yes.
But let's say Delta 8. Delta 8 was super popular 2021, 2022.
Yep.
We don't even see Delta 8 anymore. Delta 9 has just become the preferred Delta for low-dose hemp edibles.
Yeah.
And then...
especially in the state of Minnesota.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
In the state of Minnesota.
To clarify. There are still Delta 8 and other deltas in the proverbial, scope inside of the United States, which is where, from I think, at least from the open window that I look through, it's there's still a conversation being had in the broader scope of the United States of America around the low dose trash that we're speaking of.
Oh no, absolutely.
Right. But here in Minnesota, we are these weirdly privileged children who have this like utopian space for cannabis beverages.
Up to 200 milligrams.
Yeah, of major and minor cannabinoids in a beverage. And we've been putting those things into not we as in me personally, but we as like
yeah, I think you have. You can take credit for that. Yeah.
All right. I'll take a little credit. I'm in that camp of humans. But in Minnesota, there's people getting that right? And we're not that everything that we've done is right. It's not about right and wrong. It's just about the path that we've paved and how it is working.
I think it's been productive.
There you go.
The wins outweigh the losses. And they took a hard stance, the OCM, and prior to the OCM, they took a hard stance.
OCM for humans outside of the state of Minnesota, Office of Cannabis Management.
Yeah, sometimes it's OMC, it's OCM, it's different things in different states.
Yep.
The regulatory body.
There you go.
And we don't have THCP, we don't have Delta 10, we don't have HHC anymore. Now, I did see those products at Legacy Cup in 2022.
Sure.
I don't think we saw them in 2023. I think they were out the door by then.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had 2 years of responsible regulation that really has worked. In some favor, it's worked more to the brewers.
Yeah.
And the 3-tier system that exists.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, beverages are the entry point into cannabis at a low dose. They're not where people stay forever.
Sure.
So I think there's the ability to go from 5 to 10 to 20. Now, 20 milligrams is something that you're only going to find in the dispensaries.
Right.
But
from a THC perspective.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and our audience is knowledgeable here, but the 5s and 10s is what you can get away with per piece, per serving in the edible space. And the folks that have an issue with that, I just don't see it the same way. From what I understand, the producers that are making these products, now you can't speak for all producers, but there are folks out there that are doing it in a relatively clean way.
Yes.
And it's not as much of in Minnesota.
Yep.
It's not as much of a concern as it is in other states. And so for the folks that are in Minnesota that are hating on low-dose trash or calling it low-dose trash, I would say like what you've seen in the last 3 years is a lot more cannabis consumers. And you've also seen amongst your peers, whether you recognize them as your peers or not, you've seen a lot of folks being able to get into the industry as an entrepreneur, start a brand, and create products. And some have really taken off. And that's not to say that their success is your loss.
Right.
I don't think the OCM or the state of Minnesota has necessarily done a lot of like runway paving for these brands besides putting a little bit of a box around 5 milligrams.
Yeah. Maybe putting up
Delta 9.
putting up the bumpers, right?
Yeah.
The rails on the bowling lane,
right,
so to speak, right?
But there's still more lanes in the bowling alley.
Yeah. Like 100p, man.
So for the guys out there that continue to rail against hemp, like just stay in your lane. Like they're not taking anything away from you. Your time is coming. You're going to have so many pins to knock down.
Oh, yeah. And I think, too, to that point, is that you're talking about the runway, right? And you're talking about the last few years and what low-dose hemp-derived beverages have done. Specifically, we're talking about in our backyard, right? In the state of Minnesota. What that's done is it's paved a way, I think, and I would love to hear your opinion, is an entry point for a lot of humans that maybe didn't know that they enjoy consuming cannabis, THC and other cannabinoids specifically, at all.
Mainly THC, CBD.
Yeah, THC, CBD. Let's just go there.
But hey, when you put them together, it really works.
Yeah, yep. In a low dose format, right?
It works.
Sessionable, easily approachable, right? Versus like, and this is not to say like the dispensary model is wrong, right? The dispensary model is just interesting. The dispensary model of like adult use recreational marijuana is a box. I've always looked at it as a box. And there's been people that have been building boxes for multiple decades, right? As long as I've been in craft beer and beverage, there have been people in cannabis in states like Colorado, California, Washington, etc., right? That are those legacy markets. But at the same time, for a new market, the 23rd state currently opening up right now for adult use recreational marijuana consumption of products and the purchase of those products, it's still a little box that the average consumer who knows cannabis, who knows marijuana and wants to buy flower or whatever format that you want to consume your cannabis in has to go to that little box. Now, what have beverages like this done? It's taken them out of the box or the proverbial lane that we talk about here, and it's put them in a bunch of other little lanes and other boxes for humans that might not necessarily have gone to that little box to buy because there's a stigma around that.
Right, you can smell it.
Yes. And once again, it's not bad because I am a marijuana consumer, right?
Yeah.
Of all different formats. And us both, we are.
Brownies.
Exactly. Brownies, flour, dabs, whatever you want.
Vape pens.
So at the end of the day, how I'm looking at it is, or how I'm thinking about it is beverages like this have opened, I was going to say door, but I think we'll stay on the window train, have opened the window to a new consumer that might not necessarily want to or is not even conscious of the fact that they're like, I would ever go to a dispensary to buy a 50 milligram shot of, let's use a brand, Uncle Arnie's as an example, a 50 milligram THC shot, or 100 meg beverage.
Like the 5-hour energy drinks, but they're 50 milligrams of THC.
Yeah, like that's not everyone. And I'm going to point it because it's here. As an example, like Cocoa Flow and the low dose hemp-derived beverages have literally let us slowly over the last few years crank that window open to see the beautiful outside. We're not just opening it wide open.
No, you got to turn it.
You got to turn it. And it's opening up slowly. And I'm not saying it's all right. It's not a perfect land, right?
Well, certainly the rollout in any market to open up cannabis to the public has never been
legalized in 2023. Here we are, late 2025, almost into 2026, and we still barely have dispensaries out in the marketplace open for adult use recreation. So there's no like fast track path.
It's going to take 2 to 3 years to get a good amount of dispensaries open, which I guess that makes sense. You got to write the rules.
Yeah.
So we have a reasonable model. What did we describe it as on the show here? We have a sensible and successful hemp model in Minnesota. And, actually, they've taken more hemp products away from us, right? Like, they've really limited it to gummies and drinks. They've taken away tinctures for the most part. They've definitely taken away vape pens. And those are products that can be made safely and are highly effective. And they've pulled those back in large because the medical cannabis businesses wanted to have those products available to them specifically.
Right.
So when you look at the timeline as we've had hemp products, intoxicating hemp products, that's another term, which I don't like that term. I don't like that term. The folks that are fighting for intoxicating hemp have made up a category. It's a oxymoron. To create intoxicating hemp products, because when we got into this industry, hemp didn't get you high. Hemp was clothing.
Hemp made you hempcrete. Hemp made you fully sustainable packaging. Hemp made you rope, paper, clothing. Yes. Swag.
Bags, tote bags.
Bingo.
But low dose, if we just kept low dose as a under 5 milligrams per serving, and gave everybody the option to make low dose products, and then you could ship low dose products across state lines
Mm.
so that marijuana brands didn't have to buy hemp brands to then distribute hemp brands in multiple states, but not be able to sell their marijuana dosed, higher dose products only in boxes. Then we could create something that I've always referred to as the PG-13 movie and the R-rated movie,
Yeah.
or the 6-point touchdown, or do you want the extra point to go with it to get to 7?
Yeah.
There's different ways to. I've heard Carol Moss refer to it in other ways. The point is, they want an even playing field.
Yeah.
And when you're able to ship intoxicating hemp, when you're able to ship low dose products across state lines, then everybody should be able to do that, whether you're a marijuana based business or a low dose hemp business.
Yeah.
Because if we establish that it's safe for, and also let's make it 21 plus.
Yep.
So that the alcohol industry doesn't have to think about where they drop the product off.
Yeah.
It's all 21 plus.
Yeah.
That's just how you play the game in America.
All right, I want to unpack something with you.
Go ahead.
Because you know how near and dear to my heart this is, especially with the advent of all of this in the last couple of years. Direct to consumer, e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Take your blinders off, which you do, and talk to me about how you feel about shipping products like.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you can ship CBD products, you should be able to ship all hemp products.
Okay.
I mean,
low dose in this case. Let's just use your 5 meg example, right?
Well, once I think the more active folks in the space that may or may not be listening need to figure out where they draw the line on hemp.
Okay.
What are we going to do with synthetics? What are we going to do with age gating? And once we're able to do that, then you can have the second conversation of how do they get the product?
Sure.
What is the product? And then the second question is how do they get it?
I think one of the biggest things, right, from just I'll say big alcohol. That's probably not the right case in this case.
Big bourbon.
Big bourbon. But like I can't go click buy Bacardi 151, right?
You can get it dropped off.
I can get it dropped off.
Which is all you need.
Right.
If you need Bacardi 151, you don't need it in 3 days.
Right.
You need it now.
Probably.
That's how the industry's been set up.
Right.
The stores are open 7 days a week.
That was only recent here in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Sunday sales, baby. Talk about changing rules.
I don't want to argue my perspective. You're the one who's more passionate about direct-to-consumer online e-com.
Yeah.
Where are you at with this?
I knew this was coming back to me. Why did I ask it, my friends? Thanks for the baton. Well, it was more like a boomerang, I guess.
Yeah. How would you like this?
I think I'll start with the argument against. The argument against is my 14-year-old. I don't have a 14-year-old.
You could.
My 14-year-old can just click, buy this, and get it shipped with his credit card that I have established for him, whatever. I don't know, or debit card or something, bank card. My 15-year-old, 16, 17, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's even just say a 17-year-old. My teenager. Great example. Can click, buy, get it ordered, and if it doesn't come in a box that's got all this branding on it, I, i.e. the parent, would never know.
It'll come in like a pretty brown square box.
Yeah, not a rectangle.
Unless you order 8.
Sure.
Or 12.
Yeah. And so that's the argument, is that like my teenager can't go on and click, buy the Bacardi 151 and get it delivered.
But they could order gummies.
Yep.
Or flour.
Yep.
Drinks, you're going to know what it is.
Yeah. And I think that argument is interesting because I use Bacardi 151 as like a far end. You can be part of wine clubs, right? You can order a box of wine every month. It'll come a case of wine, however often you have it.
A crate.
a creative one, but what I've heard, and I haven't ever done that personally, but what I know from other humans that have is you have to go through a pretty lengthy process to be part of a wine club.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of forms to fill out. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of verification of who you are, what your age is, all that stuff. So that's a different level of consumer. That's like, I want wine, and like I'm going to get a case of wine every 3 months or something of that nature.
Subscribe and save 15% off.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a problem because they're trying to get you on a monthly shipping retainer, and they don't really care who you are.
Right.
But can you scan an ID online? Or can you have to enter an ID online?
I mean, yes, there are 100%. There are ways to do that, and I've never bought the wine club stuff, but like you put in your ID, put in all your information. I'm sure there's systems by which it can verify, just like anything, trust but verify, right? Put in the last 4 of your social, like you're going to get in somehow.
Not telling.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, I'm going to go to beer, right? Okay. And there are breweries that you can go. I just was in a meeting literally yesterday looking on a few brewery websites. A couple differences. One was in Charlotte, and you can click and buy and get it delivered, but only in the state of North Carolina.
Okay, that's good.
Off their website. Okay,
they're only in North Carolina, so
and there are age gates, right? And those age gates are yes or no. Are you 21? Yes. Can you legally drink alcohol? Yes. Put this 6-pack in my cart? Yes. Buy, check out with Shop Pay, Apple, Google, whatever.
Easy.
Email, whatever you want to do. Buy it and get it delivered to my house in North Carolina.
Okay.
Another brewery out of the state of New York can ship to like 38 states.
Really?
You can click, and buy 4-pack, 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 4-pack. And you have to get to a certain threshold.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Yes. It's real life. And so the argument...
How are they able to do that?
I have to...
I
have to learn
homework.
More. I have homework this week.
Okay.
So I am. It's just an interesting.
But I like that you brought up beer versus Bacardi 151.
I started there to roll the conversation because that's easy.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to pit against hard liquor.
I mean, if I drank a bottle of Bacardi 151 today, I would die.
Yeah.
If I bought some gummies from Balanced online and I ate all of them,
probably not going to die.
I'm not going to die.
You're going to be pretty...
I'm not going to record the show.
No, you're going to be...
I'll probably call Steph and say, hey, I did something stupid.
But you're not going to die.
And if I drank a 4-pack of beer, I shouldn't drive, but I'm going to be okay.
You're going to be okay. And if you drank these 3 Cocoa Flows at 8 megs a piece, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I'd have to go to the bathroom. I'd have to pee.
Yeah, you're going to feel good. You're going to be feeling real good.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Right.
But anyways, I think just throwing the baby out with the bathwater in this case, saying like, and I know there's a way that we have to come to, there's a gap that we have to fill. We don't have to bridge it. We just have to fill it. And in this case, the filling of the gap is actually a meeting in the middle, and it's a removal. If we want low-dose hemp-derived edibles, beverages in our case of conversation, and we want them to have rules and regulations like 5 milligram caps per serving or whatever.
On just THC, like don't cap the minor cannabinoids.
No, 100p. There's something in the middle that's got to give. I feel like in the current landscape of conversation and what that sort of give right now, the easiest target is throwing an arrow through direct to consumer.
I'm just gonna take a different perspective. I'm gonna say it's going to be 21 plus and up.
Okay.
That's all the federal government needs to put into the bill.
Yeah.
They don't need to. That's at the state level.
Right.
I'm going to take that perspective.
Okay.
Because you have to be a certain age to get this product.
Yep.
Like beer.
Yep.
There's not a different rule if I want to drink Iowa beer.
Spencer, DeBuzzard on YouTube says Bacardi 151 was discontinued years ago.
Dang it.
That shows how little we drink hard alcohol.
Yeah, there you go. Case in point.
I was going to say Everclear.
Okay. Yeah,
but
great.
Who wrote that song?
Woodford Reserve.
Who wrote the Bacardi 151 Tech 9? Was that a Tech 9 song back in the day?
Dude, you got me.
Well, thanks to DBuzzer. What platform was that?
That was on YouTube.
Hell yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bacardi 151's not even real life
Keeping
anymore.
us relevant. Yeah, we're just a bunch of dinosaurs.
Yeah, I don't know shit about
I
pop.
drink beer and I drink cannabis sometimes. I don't drink a lot of hard alcohol.
Yeah. I'm not up on my hard alcohol game.
Well, let's stay there. I mean,
Yeah.
I heard something from Aaron from Breeze this week that said half the alcohol industry is lobbying for hemp, half the alcohol industry is lobbying against hemp.
Okay.
And so let's say Bacardi 151 was the hottest selling product on the market right now. That would be a brand that doesn't want hemp beverages around because the way things are trending,
Mm-hmm.
whether hemp has something to do with this or not, is people are drinking less hard alcohol, they're drinking less beer, they're drinking less in general. I think the alcohol industry's poised to make or may take a $880 million hit based on consumption patterns.
Yeah.
And there's no like Bacardi 151 now with hemp infused. They can't do that.
Right.
The brands and the products themselves cannot include both.
Yep.
However, the distributors and the trucks and the jobs and the warehouses, they can hold both in different areas on different pallets.
Yep.
And those are the folks that are actually very much in favor of keeping this train going.
It's the people that are in the supply chain, right? They're directly in that supply chain line that are like, yeah, this is working for us.
Unless they're vertically integrated like Anheuser-Busch.
Sure.
And then you have a product that can include hemp, and then you have entire warehouses that are just Anheuser-Busch portfolio brands.
Yeah.
And until my hypothesis is until a group like Anheuser-Busch is able to get their hands on a hemp product, they're going to be like, keep that shit out of our industry.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are able to do both.
Yes.
Like breweries.
Yes.
Like warehouses.
Right.
That see the light.
Like retail stores.
Like Target.
Like Target.
Yeah.
Like Top 10 Liquor.
Top 10 Liquor.
Like the corner store. Like around Quick Trip.
Yeah.
Literally.
They do it.
They do it. Yeah.
They do low dose trash.
Yeah, exactly. Bring up a seg. So let's figure out a segue into the second bullet point.
Actually, I think
what's your airplane mode say?
We're on. So the second bullet point was protecting Minnesota's sensible and successful hemp model.
Okay.
Which I feel like we've covered.
We covered, yep.
And then there's the marijuana versus hemp, the cannabis loophole. And we'll take a quick break and be right back.
Yeah.
Sagi Wonka Cultivars on YouTube said he would rather smoke, eat, drink cannabis before drinking. Ever again, drinking is just a bad hangover the next day. Cannabis is the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, dude.
Talk to him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it feels good to feel good. I mean, right?
Right.
I don't know. Like, I've had my fair share of alcoholic beverages in my life. And there is a spectrum to that consumer, right? That consumer drinking alcoholic beverages, whatever your poison, pick your poison from wine, beer, spirits, etc. The spectrum I speak of, Henry, is like somebody in moderation, a couple of drinks, to somebody in excess, fully saturated brain, right? And you feel like garbage the next day. As we were just talking with Steven here, it's like same thing, Coco Flow, like, you know, you're probably not going to drink a 12-pack.
So we had a number of viewers just jump on YouTube, so maybe you want to welcome everyone, let them know what's going on. We're on break right now. That's going to be right back. What's going on? For
sure. Hey, everyone that's on YouTube. And Facebook and LinkedIn, and we're just live here on the Canna Connect show. Me and Steve are chatting. Steve's just taking a quick break. We're kind of unpacking things around the nice marijuana hemp debate, as well as just giving our perspectives into the low dose trash concept and to Minnesota's sensible rollout and regulations and what has happened with LPHE, low potency hemp edible.
Sensible and successful.
Sensible and successful. Yep. as well as then now we're going to get into our hemp versus marijuana, the loophole.
The loophole.
Yeah, of which I want to say what we said the other day was just a random conversation. Stephen calls me up and we're talking about the loophole because it's making headlines. Again, right? It was, why wouldn't it? And I'm like, Steve, man, aren't we all living in a loophole? Isn't that what we do as humans? When there are rules for things, there's a spectrum to people that follow that, but there are also people that are always looking for the loophole. Mm-hmm. The people that find the loophole on the taxes.
Tax loophole.
Yeah, right. Find loopholes in the government system, whatever it might be, or the rules to something. Right? You're not saying everybody's trying to break the rules.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, humans live for finding the loopholes in things to make their life more efficient, easy,
right,
smoother,
right,
frictionless. So like to say, let's use it. Let's use the loophole.
Yeah, calling somebody out for using the loophole is that's anti-American.
The Buzzard wants to know if you guys went to Legacy Cup.
Yeah, I've been to every Legacy Cup.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Buzzard for asking.
I never have.
I've never been to a Legacy Cup. All of them. You've never been to one.
Yeah, look at this. Talk about opposite ends of the spectrum.
2019 was the first Legacy Cup, and it was so cool. It was so small. Fucking Esai was DJing. Esai was hosting. Like, the cool thing about Josh and Esai is that they've been rocking together for like 6, 7, 10 years. Like, and Esai's like just on the other side of 30. Like, he's not even 30, I don't think. So he's pretty young. Josh is our age. The first Legacy Cup, I got that day. I juiced hemp leaves at Zach Robbins' house. He had a harvest party because he was growing hemp in his backyard in Minnetonka.
Nice.
And then we juiced his hemp leaves. I brought like apples and carrots, and we did a blend.
ABJ, always be juicing.
At that time, I was juicing hard, and then recovering, and then the Legacy Cup was full of CBD edibles and like full spectrum CBD edibles, and like maybe some of them were hot because like people were getting high that night just off the CBD edibles at Legacy Cup. It was so cool. There was so much CBD flower being smoked. There was so much, like, at that time, there was a lot more you could do with hemp in 2019 than you can do with it now. And if you look at companies that rail against the OCM, like Jeff Brinkman and Superior Cannabis Company, like, they are upset because there's so many products that have been taken away from the CBD shops. Retailers, the hemp shops now, as they're known as, but they were called CBD stores back in 2019. And I think Legacy Cup probably had a trophy for best CBD store, or they weren't. It wasn't best hemp shop back in 2019. Like, that's new vernacular that's come through the Farm Bill and Delta 9 THC. And I think the other part to acknowledge is there are different ways to synthesize or to extract and then get to Delta 9 from CBD. Mm-hmm. And I think we have a lot, like I mentioned, we have a lot of clean retailers here. A lot of clean extraction groups here. Yes. Not a lot. There's so many extraction groups have gone by the wayside over the years because there's been less you can do with hemp CBD. And as people went to Delta 9, then they found different ways to get Delta 9 distillate or Delta 9 isolate. So the loophole and then the cannabis versus hemp thing is, like, now you look at all of the independent licensees, the 12 or so cannabis license types that are available, and how that group is the most upset. No longer are the hemp shops and the CBD brands and the low dose brands the guys and gals that are most upset with the government and the rollout. It's now the independent retailers that are waiting for flower, having to pay upwards of $4,000 a pound because there's such a limited supply of product right now.
Right.
And of course, there's always in the beginning going to be a limited supply of product. But when the licenses opened up versus within prior to the harvest, prior to the planting season or after the planting season was a huge blow to the supply chain.
Yep.
And is why you're only seeing a handful of brands being able to supply the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nationally, I think there's a much bigger issue with THCA flower being sold online and then dispensaries having to be held within their box, not being able to ship their flower. The dispensary flower ships just as well as the THCA flower. The only problem is you can't do that if you've registered as a marijuana company.
Right.
And what you hear is that it's a lot of people pulling product out of the above ground market, fudging a COA, getting it marked as THCA, and then pushing that THCA flower online, where the government does collect taxes on it because it's sold as an online product.
Yeah.
However, that's not fair to the growers. That's not fair to the businesses. Ultimately, the consumers are getting away with being able to buy weed online.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you have that issue if you're talking about, like, well, maybe you do, but I don't think so. It hasn't come up too much where groups are saying, I want to be able to sell my high dose edibles online and ship them straight to your door. Because I think if you can ship beer online, you should be able to ship low dose gummies online.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I draw the line.
Okay.
I think if you have a copycat product like THCA flower, you shouldn't be able to sell you shouldn't be able to sell the fake version online, but the real version you have to drive or you have to get it delivered to your store.
Yeah.
Or to your house from the store.
Yeah.
And I don't know where delivery's at. There used to be Ease, big delivery company in California where they would just drive it to you.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to show ID and
right.
And like,
I think diving into that a little bit more around that's like online ordering and stuff. Like there are dispensaries and other legacy markets that you can click buy and get it delivered, but you're gonna that delivery service is local based. It's not being just shipped to you through the mail, and they're gonna show up, and that human is trained and XYZ employed by whatever company that is to show up and be like, "Hi, what's your name? I'm Steven Eigenman. Great. I have a package for you. Can I see some ID?"
Yeah.
It's not, "Oh, hi, are you Steven Eigenman?" "Yeah, I am." "Okay, let me see some ID." And it's your 15-year-old kid that's like, "Yeah, dude, no, you ordered, like, no, you're not your dad."
Well, they don't even need to see you. They'll just leave it at your door. The postman's not going to knock twice and ask for your ID.
Right, but the delivery service is.
Yeah.
Now, hang on a second, though. I want to make that point because that's where I was headed. The delivery human, that's FedEx, USPS, UPS, et cetera, DHL, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, Amazon, whatever, does need, on average, probably 99% of the time, just drops the package at your house. Whatever you order, right? However, there are products that you and I order. I'll give a great example. An iPhone.
Oh, good.
For an iPhone to be delivered to your house, you need to receive, like I have ordered new iPhones in the past X amount of years, and from Apple, and they won't drop that and leave that there. They need you, maybe not proof of age, but they need the human and the signature. Yeah. So there is a stopgap.
But that's a more expensive shipping option. That usually costs like $15.
Okay.
And so, like,
are you willing to pay to have this shipped to your house and verify that kids can't get it? Extra dollars? Would you do that?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I would.
Yeah.
I would love to still get my beverages online if the age gating was that I had to be home and I had to sign for it.
Sure.
And I had to provide my ID.
Yeah.
It sounds very inconvenient, but guess what's more convenient? That I can get anywhere in the United States Cocoa Flow because it's on the Canna Connect show's website.
Yeah.
And I live in Southern California, and I'm watching the Canna Connect show, and I'm like, how do I get Cocoa Flow? And I'm like, sorry, team, you got to visit us here.
Right.
Come to Minnesota.
You got to come to Minnesota.
And they're like, I don't come to Minnesota. I'm like, well, I wish you could just buy that and have it verified. Would you pay a few extra bucks to have the age verification shipping? I understand that, like, I'm not going to create the solution. Like, I can talk about what I think the solution is.
Yeah.
But, like, I understand that there's a whole process, a whole operational. I wish Tommy was here, because he would love to talk about an operational process and an SOP for how that's actually going to happen and work.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
We got a comment?
Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
Penny Peddler Rippler says free the plant, period.
Right.
The Buzzard says there is one delivery service that he knows of in Minnesota that they know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go off to Buzzard. The opportunity still exists for, so hemp versus marijuana.
Yeah.
Micro businesses, meso businesses, retail businesses will still be able to carry low dose hemp edibles as it currently exists in Minnesota.
Yep.
And so those stores would be able to deliver or offer delivery on, let's say we got Cocoa Flow into DeBuzzard's dispensary.
Yeah.
DeBuzzard could then deliver Cocoa Flow along with vape pens and flour and
Yep.
anything else that a micro or meso business sells.
Yeah.
And so you have the ability to bring low dose hemp edibles into the cannabis supply chain and the retail consumer model.
Yep.
But it will be more expensive
Of course.
because there are some crazy requirements for transporters. And if it's hard for transporters, it's going to be really hard for delivery companies here.
Yeah.
And also shout out to Boxes. If we're talking about Boxes, they're like the only brand that I know, but that's still
Yeah.
supply chain. That's not end last mile delivery.
Right, but that's also it's not delivery.
It's DiGiorno. Yeah.
Yeah, and with that being said, that's a different model than direct to consumer e-com, right?
Mm.
Delivery versus shipping, two differences. It's still getting delivered to you,
Okay.
but there's local delivery,
Yeah.
right? Like you click on the dispensary's website
Mhm.
or shop's website or whatever place that you want to buy whatever, from high dose products to low dose products, marijuana high dose rec to low dose hemp
Yeah,
beverage,
sure.
right? Local based delivery from that entity through a courier that is a licensed courier to deliver has a license to deliver said product from high dose marijuana to low dose hemp edible.
Okay.
This side is I can buy it online and it will get delivered through a mail service,
Yeah.
right? I think there's a huge difference between the two.
Well, there's definitely different companies doing those two different things. One company we should highlight that's potentially, allegedly, putting a stick in the wheel of some of the DTC
Yeah.
is DoorDash.
Yeah.
Allegedly, DoorDash lobbied to create that interpretation of the rules within Minnesota related to low-dose hemp-derived products being delivered to consumers like yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not surprising. What was surprising was when they initially entered the space.
Okay.
Shout out to David Gonzalez.
Yeah. Shout out to Dave.
I think he was one of the earliest blokes on DoorDash.
Yep.
Because he's a tech-minded consumer innovator, marketer extraordinaire. But ultimately, you get companies of that size involved, they're going to throw their weight around.
Yes.
David versus Goliath.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. The DoorDash game. What else you
Penny
got?
Peddler Rippler says, kind of compared what you guys were saying to the gun industry.
Oh, interesting. I don't own a
He
gun.
said,
I own guns.
like
You
gun
own
rights
guns.
here, but there's thousands of guns being made in the country.
Say that again?
That's what he said. He said, just like gun rights here, but there's thousands of guns being made in the country.
Sure. Wow. That's
One thing the cannabis folks have issues with is the fact that legally you're not allowed to own guns and drugs at the same time. And that's like a lot of a lot of conservative cannabis users find that to be problematic for their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because it's a Schedule 1 drug.
Yes. Federally.
A controlled substance on the Controlled Substance Act.
And that's a whole nother Canna Connect show.
But where just to bring light to the marijuana versus hemp conversation.
Debacle.
Yeah, is there's serious consideration at this point to say, well, fuck, shit, should we just deschedule it? Should we just legalize it? Take it off the Controlled Substances Act to Schedule 1 so that it becomes easier for everybody to play in this space?
Yeah.
And I think that's what the highest level folks are thinking. It's like, hey, if we get it off Schedule 1, there's just a lot more we can build around these products. There's a lot more investment that can come into these products and these businesses while not necessarily getting rid of 5 milligram products.
Right.
Would you want to tell our viewers what they can expect on the upcoming episodes of the Canna Connect show and what's in the pipeline for Canna Connect?
Yeah.
And just remind them to share this amazing content.
Well, thanks to everybody who's been tuning in today on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Really appreciate the comments.
Yeah.
No idea if anybody's watching on LinkedIn, but Spencer Ploessl's on the show today, so somebody's got to be watching
somebody's
on
that LinkedIn verse.
And these episodes stay live on LinkedIn, they stay live on Facebook, so you can rewatch them if you're not tuning in right now. Thanks for coming back. When it comes to what's next for Canna Connect, we've got weekly episodes dropping on our YouTube channel starting in December, early December, first week after Thanksgiving. The week of MJ BizCon, actually, we'll be dropping the Tara Falk episode.
Cheers to Tara.
Yeah, Tara was
coming
a great
out
guest.
to Minnesota and coming on the show.
Yeah, I hope you feel better, Tara. She was awesome. She loved Coco Flow.
Nice.
And we'll be rolling out weekly episodes starting with Tara, then Tony, followed by, we've got a recording in December that we're going to be bringing on some local guests. Like, I don't want to, you can't say it because what if it doesn't happen?
Yeah, no.
We've got some cool people, though. Definitely some folks that have been in the industry a long time, folks that have perspective and are either users or have used and have a history of use. Like, we want this show to be authentic. We want to have guests on the show that are actually about the plant, that want the best for the plant.
Yes.
And
it's not just an advertisement, right? Like the guests that we're going to have here, beyond me and Steven and Natalie and Luke and Tommy of Canna Connect, right? Like the guests that we bring on are not just advertisements, right? Like the Canna Connect show, as we said in our pilot episode, like, Steven, what the fuck is the Canna Connect show? Right? Like, we're still making it up. We're still building the plane as it's flying off the runway. And it takes people like you that are watching live, right, to chime in and make chatter in the chat, in the commentary section, right? So you can help us shape this conversation, because that's what these are. These are conversations. And you can watch them live. We're going to live stream these on these platforms that you might be tuning in today. But also then Henry and his team here at Open Window Productions is going to take and actually make episodes of these shows where you can come to YouTube and you can actually get more of a produced show. Mm-hmm. So we go live though because we just literally said, why not? Why would we not have these conversations live where people can tap in, tune in, and absorb the information now if they so feel? So beyond YouTube and like LinkedIn and FaceSpace, how are we delivering the Canna Connect show to people? Yeah,
well, it's interesting. The Instagram is one thing that we're doing, but
the Cannaverse.
The email newsletter that we're rolling out on Sundays and Wednesdays, twice a week. This industry's heating up. We're hitting them twice a week. Let's go.
Bingo.
The Cannaverse, if you type in the Cannaverse, you'll find it. Number one. And then
SEO juice. There's a book here in Open Window. Mm-hmm. Just looking on the bookshelf, it's SEO for Dummies. And I wanted to look at the print date on it and see how relevant it still is in our world today.
Right. It's not Harry Potter. The bookstores don't get updated as years go on. But the thing I was thinking about before you plugged the Cannaverse is Oh man, I mean, you just like, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, you were going down. I asked you where you can find where we're delivering this show, and you said Instagram is where you went.
well, that's
first.
because I wasn't ready.
Oh, you weren't ready.
But the
Love it, dude.
oh, I was going to plug our event on December 17th.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I want to talk about,
Nice.
because you can really find.
Ooh,
This is a great place to catch up and hear what we're thinking about, but also our in-person events
IRL.
are better in real life. Yeah.
In real life, we love hosting events and throwing parties, after parties for big conferences and such.
Yeah.
Educational events.
We're going to throw a big event on December 17th.
Yeah.
There's some information out right now, but it's going to get updated, and it's going to be awesome. And especially for the licensee. Now, I know not everyone has a license or is going for a cannabis business, but ultimately the most important people that we need to take care of right now are the licensees. And this event on December 17th is going to be an open window into what people can expect as they get their license, and they're working with Metric, and they're understanding the seed to sale tracking that's required within the industry. Sign up for our December 17th event. It's going to be awesome. More information coming soon. Stay tuned to the Cannaverse as well as our social pages. And thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We'll see you in December.
Appreciate you being here.